Very pleased to talk about affordable housing as an additional niche within the U.S. residential sector. And, very quick introduction. Pamela, you're a portfolio manager in the impact investing group in Nuveen. Daryl, you're the chairman and CEO of Avanath. For me, as an investor as well, it would be very interesting to start out the conversation as to what exactly affordable housing is, and in particular with the capital A, compared to the small A.
Yeah, so I can start. Everybody has a different definition of what affordable housing is in the U.S. When you hear it, people are going from capital A, which means, rent subsidized or sort of income restricted housing, to workforce housing that's not restricted, or lowercase a. We're here to talk about capital A. The way that we at Nuveen define affordable housing is we look at area median income, and that was kind of touched on in the last session, but we do focus on that 80% of area median income with a really heavy focus on 60% of area median income across the U.S., because that is where we see a lot of the imbalance of supply and demand, and a lot of support for those residents.
I agree with all that. I would just look at it also from a rent level. We typically range from 40 to 80% of AMI. So across our portfolio, our average rent's about $1,700 a month, which is affordable for someone that makes about $60,000 a year, which is a little bit approximates 60+% of AMI in most of the markets that we're in.
So is all of the investments you're doing regulated, or is there also a component that is just affordable?
Yeah, we do both. And very recently, we've been buying buildings that don't have any regulations, but a lot of cities and states across the country have these programs where if you rent to people at 80% of AMI, you get a tax abatement. So we've been taking advantage of that as a tool, because if you get a tax abatement, particularly in California, it's worth about a 30% rent increase.
Yeah, and I think it's important because I think everybody's trying to hone in on markets where that makes sense, and we're also buying both unrestricted and restricted housing. But there is this proliferation of states who are coming to understand that they need to preserve the affordable housing that they have today, because we're just not developing new housing fast enough, or either the housing that we're developing in the U.S. is more, it's catering to a higher income. And so there are states like Texas, like